favorite Marvel Comics hero? Mine is Superman. Remember the motto? With great power comes great responsibility.
Hello, everyone. John and Carla here. We are the creative team behind the Green Reaper.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cat Comics, your new favorite YouTube channel. And yeah, today is blanket day, as you can see. So yeah, quarantine is not as good as it should be. So lots of water to keep the health up, right? So introducing my first very sexy beefcakey man of the panel. Helsim. Welcome.
Hello. How's it going?
How's it going? Welcome to the show. Here we have El Gargle, Hell White Cat, Hell Gargle.
Hell Gargle.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Today we have very special guests. We have two very special guests. First of all, we have from The Gods Fear Me, the amazing Mike Murphy. Hello, Mike. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. Let's get the numbers up today.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the last day for real.
Yeah. Today's the last day. So yeah, let's do something cool about it. Okay, so our last guest, the one and only from Outlaw Nights, Fusebox.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Welcome to the channel. How are you, Ben?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. Sounds good. Well, my fine gentlemen, let's have some fun. I'm waiting for my dear husband to come home because, as you know, we are a team. I am the artist of the project and my husband is the writer. So I have art-related questions and he has the writing-related questions for you guys. So yeah, we have some comments here going on. So how about them pinups? I don't know. We should make some
pinups.
Mm-hmm. Hell to the hardest work team in Canada.
Hell.
Gotcha.
Oh, thanks so much.
I like the sound of that.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, how are you going, guys? Are you locked at home or are you free? What about you?
I'm just chilling at my house.
Sounds good. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, for the most part, we're stay-at-homes right now. But I don't know. The past 2 days, we've had to go out into the world and try to do some hunting and gathering. I had to go hunting for toilet paper yesterday.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
Did you hit somebody?
No. So what happened was we've got a Costco by us, and they had plenty there. So I got this picture. I'm going to be posting it up. I've got this 30-pack of toilet paper over my shoulder like a bison. Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed. You didn't fight with anybody. What's the point?
I was ready for fisticuffs, but no, it didn't come down to it.
All right, guys, have you had some encounter with somebody, or I don't know, some hardship to get something,
Not in New Orleans. No, we're pretty laid back here.
All right.
I'm told that a lot of stores are pretty much empty, but I'm not having any issue with it.
Yeah, a lot of the stores around us are getting pretty barren, and as far as supplies go, we're still doing okay. The only thing that's kind of becoming an issue is diapers for Clark.
Mm. Yeah, I see people go into the supermarket at 5-6 a.m. just to make sure they get stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's no hope for people that still go to work.
I mean, I count myself lucky because where I live, we have something that's like you can pay like you pay a certain amount per month, right? And they deliver you your groceries, like like fresh meat and this and so all my toilet paper and everything's coming to delivery. I have no problem.
Well, that's good.
3
So
months supply coming.
I think like that we agree that maybe toilet paper is not the most essential thing to live with in case of of apocalypse. You can just jump in the shower eventually or something.
Right.
The bidet company will make them will have a pleasure selling you one.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think is actually essential for you, like to survive on your home?
Food and insulin. That's it.
Pretty simple and effective.
Yeah, definitely food, definitely coffee. Other than that, I can make do.
How do you think that this whole outrage affects indie comics?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like yesterday and today, like I said, we had to step out, and like the just getting coffee from even like a Starbucks is like a 20-minute wait.
Not bad.
Damn.
I bet. But I don't know, guys. Like it's a difference for you in your daily routine. There's some change you had to do.
Yeah, I got the kids here all the time. I got 4 kids here at all time.
Sounds
God.
And right now, they closed the school for 2 weeks, and they're saying that it's going to be closed till September. So it's pretty much done for the year. Mm-hmm.
So
September.
Huh?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that means like, hey, rest of the year, yeah, done. Have fun.
Right.
Damn.
It's okay. That means I have manual labor for when I ship my books.
There you go.
Exactly.
Life hacks, fireballs, and lemon juice. You think?
The show must go on, and yes, it's going to affect Thomas Gay in a way because a lot of people that we know are affected by it. Job wise, we all are in a way,
Right.
But it's also a moment where they need more entertainment.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a side thing. They'll still want entertainment. They'll want it more.
Yeah, I've heard from a couple backers that I still haven't shipped out their books yet for Samurai and Dinosaurs, and all of them are like, "Yo, I could really use that right now." I'm like, "I'm working on it."
Right?
I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, especially those guys who printed in China, they will have the most delays. Without the coronavirus, it still was a big delay for printing overseas.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I think John Malin delayed his shipping of 4 months now because of that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Damn.
has no choice. He can't really know. Like he could say like in a month it's gonna be fixed, but with everything that's been happening, I'm guessing it's not gonna be fixed until at least a month or two. Especially for China.
Yeah.
Like me right now, I'm a bit worried. Hopefully my printer, since it's a smaller printer, I'm guessing they're still gonna be open. So far they haven't sent me a message.
Yeah.
So I'm crossing my fingers and I'm still gonna, and when in April I'm still gonna be able to order my print and get them.
I'm in the same boat, man. Like for our smaller stuff, like for swag bag stuff, we have a local printer that we went through for Samurai, and we were going to do the same with the Gods Fear Me stuff. And like we were just getting their answering machine yesterday, so we drove to them and they were open, but they wouldn't let people inside the plant.
Yeah.
And the owner was saying like, yeah, like either next week or the week after, the local government might make them close.
Yep, that's one of the dangers they have here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They started by anything that has 200 employees more.
Wow.
And they're thinking of going to anything that's 100. So it's going to be basic people if they don't close all the stores, and if they close all the stores, well, that's going to go nuts.
Yeah, that's when things get really fun.
All right, guys. So let's go now. No, that doesn't exist. Let's start the show. All right. So here we have Outlaw Knights, Genesis of a Renegade.
Yep.
Would you mind telling me what is this about?
Yes, Outlaw Knights. This is hopefully going to be the first of 6 issues, though I'd like to keep it going longer than 6 issues, but that depends on everybody receiving it. Essentially, this story takes place in the 31st century, and in the future, humanity has been colonizing in outer space. And this is very much still a new frontier, discovering the new world type of time period. But it's very chaotic. Where this story takes place, it's about 10 years after the last World War. So tensions are very high. And our main character, Cyrus Lawson, has been working just a simple security job on an out-of-the-way settlement, and he wants no part in any of the drama, in any of the mess going on. But drama is going to come looking for him because a crew of pirate settlement looking for a special piece of data that has the potential to shake the very foundations of international policy. And so Cyrus is whisked away by these pirates, and he has to learn how to survive amongst them while questioning his belief in right and wrong. And so he's very much going to be going from a hero to an anti-hero.
All right. Sounds very interesting. Like, as soon as John comes, he's gonna ask the hell out of the questions. So what I can do is check out the art.
So how is the world in the 31st century, bro?
Well, it's exciting, but at the same time, basically all the nations of Earth are at each other's throats because they're all competing for territory and resources. Everybody wants to be the top dog, so it's very tense.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing there's some kind of like big type of federation, and you have the rebels or something.
No. It's just kind of there's like sort of a new UN, but it's very fractured. But for the most part, there's been a boom in illegal activity like piracy because there's a lot of governments are stretching their soldiers and resources way too thin. They can't cover it all. So piracy has become very popular. The notion of establishing independence from the settlements of Earth is very popular. So it's a lot of back and forth between authoritarian and libertarian concepts, I guess.
So the main character is actually a pirate in there with his team.
Not yet. He will be.
All right. So we discovered the process in which he turns himself into a pirate.
Yes.
Sounds
He
great.
starts off being very bigoted against pirates and criminals and the like. He's very much an old school, I want to be a hero type. And he's going to have to change that in order to survive because he's going to learn not everybody is all good or all bad. And
so technically it was black and white, like good or evil, and then you discovered that you learned that there was technically it's in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the people he thought were the good guys aren't necessarily the good guys. So
So we can wait for a good plot twist.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I think great art here. Great art.
Oh God, yeah. That's our artist is Render Contender is our artist. He is phenomenal. He has done work on John Malin's Graveyard Shift Volume 2. He's done work on Art T-Bear's Chrono Mechanics. He is like every page I get back from him is better than the last, It's
Nice.
like I'm always blown away when I get new pages from him. And our colors are done by Press Colors, also known as Prasad Patanik. He's based out of India, and I've never seen color work like this before. I mean, especially with the planet. Like that's my favorite coloring in the whole thing is the planet.
It's definitely beautiful. Yeah, as I can see.
How many pages is going to be that book?
See, like, I'm excited to make it because I want to read it too. You know.
How many
Yeah.
pages?
Here we have the mailing list, right? So when is this launching exactly?
We are planning to launch on May 1st, though just depending if we don't pick up enough steam, I might push it to June 1st.
All right.
And how many pages is this going to be?
Right now we're at 25 pages. I'd like to do about 50, but we'd have to reach a 14K goal in order to do that. So I'm leaving that as a stretch goal.
Oh, so you're going to build up on it.
Yeah.
Because I remember on the first campaign you had the full set, so you decided to break it into 2 or 3.
Yeah, just because logistically it didn't make sense for me to put a campaign out there for like 14K, and I'm still fairly unknown. Like it just makes more sense to have a lower goal and a lower page count.
Yeah, so see, that's a good example. This is what happens. Your campaign doesn't work the first time. Mike will tell you. Just dust yourself up, reimagine your thing, and go ahead. Do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I'm glad to see that you're retooling things and relaunching.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all of y'all's support. Like you have all been great.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, everybody who is watching or in the replay, subscribe to the mailing list. Okay, this is gonna be good. As you can see, oh wait a second. As you can see, yeah, it's looking awesome. Sounds like a very fun concept. So yeah, just subscribe so we can make this happen. Let's go CG.
Yes,
all
indeed.
right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, like, is this your first comic, Ben?
Yes, it's my first professional attempt at producing a comic. I mean, when I was younger, I used to doodle little comics in my notebooks and stuff, but it never really went anywhere. And I started pursuing writing more, particularly screenwriting. And with the advent of Comicsgate, it just kind of everything kind of fell into place for this story. Because in truth, this story works better as a comic, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And everything just kind of clicked into place. And I love Comicsgate. I love the principles of Comicsgate. I love that it's a community, it's grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wanted to contribute to it. And I've had this story in the back of my mind for like 10 years. So I figured this would be the best way to introduce it to the world.
Mm-hmm. And when did you start writing? Did you always be writing comics?
Not so much, no. This is my first attempt writing a comic, like a full-on comic book. But the format really wasn't. It didn't take me too long to get used to the formatting. It's only a little bit different from screenwriting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, and like, what do you think are the differences between writing a comic and writing something else?
I think the hardest part is just keeping your actions condensed enough to where it can be told in single panels. Because, as writing movies, I have a tendency to be like, oh, and he's going to move over here and that. And I'm like, wait. I don't have enough. No. Like, it has to be one panel at a time. I can show action in a different way, So it's kind of simplifying and tweaking action and blocking and things like that.
I see it a bit like keyframing in animation.
A little bit back in the day.
You take your scene and you take the most important key shots and you try to use them in the comic. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what's my phone? All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
It's always the same thing I tell people. Doing comics, it's more like making a movie.
Yeah, it's very visual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The rule of show it, don't say it.
Apparently, Bigfoot Bill 2 paper stock is the same as Bounty. So if you have a spill that needs to be picked up.
Oh, God.
Some advice.
That is funny.
Good advice. Then we have Lothar D. Welcome, Lothar D. Welcome to the show. So nice to see you around here. Yeah, so guys, in the chat, if you have some questions for Ben, anything you want to ask, or
Sure.
for whoever you want to ask, just ask. It's free. All right. Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to be expecting this for May or June, so that's in a short time. So yeah, subscribe to Outlaw Nights. This is definitely a very well done project. I see like very high quality production here. So yeah, Ben, like best of luck with it, and we're gonna help you push it here in the channel.
Well, thank you so much, Carla. I appreciate the heck out of it.
Here we have my beautiful prince. Hey baby, how are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Yeah, so
Hey, bud.
Here, come here.
I just got back from work and it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Oh, Lord.
How you all doing?
We're doing good.
Good.
Great.
All right, what campaigns are we looking at? The Gods Fear Me and
We just finished watching, going through Outlaw Nights, and now we're about to go to the Gods Fear Me.
okay.
Yep.
So this is a relaunch, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck with it. All right.
Thank you so much.
I thought the first one looked great, and I'm sure that with first campaigns are always tough. Regardless, we came this close to not getting our goal the first time around.
Yeah.
And we kind of learned this lesson. It helped a lot. Like the first, I want to say month, we didn't get any income, if you will, or any kind of money in the campaign because we didn't show up to any live streams or anything. And then we started doing live streams, and that's when things started picking up a lot.
Good.
So I think this
CG is a lot about backing the people more than the book, as it
yes,
says.
yes,
Yeah.
they need to see you. They need to meet you first before anything else. And and once they see that you fulfill, and once they see your presence and things like that, I think that people come out of the woodworks to push it, to help it grow and all that. So we'll definitely be pushing it. And so yeah, guys, if you're watching this, please subscribe to the mailing list. And when is it launching again?
It's going to be launching May 1st, possibly June 1st, if we're not able to get enough people on the mailing list.
Wow, May 1st, my birthday.
Yeah.
And how many pages is it done completely, or?
It is not done, unfortunately. That's the reason why our goals have been so high.
Okay.
But and that's why right now we're launching it to be 25 pages. But our hope is we have a 14K stretch goal to extend it to 50 pages. So.
Okay. Wonderful. Would it have some maybe drawing perks?
Yes, we do have a perk to be drawn into the book. There will be 10 slots available for that. And there will also be a perk to have a page of original artwork. Normally, Render only does digital work, but he has volunteered to do 10 pages by hand. So those are going to be valuable. And
Nice.
there will be 10 of those available. And first come, first serve.
Yeah, well, looking forward to it. We'll subscribe to the mailing list as well, and we'll keep on the.
And don't forget to reach out to all the promoters to organize a lunch party.
Yes.
Indeed. We have to.
If I may recommend, I mean, of course, we're always there for you guys whenever you need it. We don't have a huge audience, but we're trying to grow it. But if I may recommend, reach out to Red Gaze. He's really good with those, and a lot of people watch him. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Red Gaze is a prince among men.
And he
And there's Adam AF.
Adam.
Oh yeah.
Adam. Unfortunately, I will tell you, Tinfoil had Nick, but I guess he's kind of taking a break from this. But when he gets back, he definitely has a really good show, especially on Sundays.
Sure.
And same goes there as well a lot of times to Nick's channel and to Adam's channel as well. So he definitely helps the creators a lot as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Hell El Gargle.
Hell to El Gargle and to Comic Book Bob.
Hail.
Hello, everyone.
Hail.
Very much.
Welcome to the live stream, guys. And so, yeah, subscribe to the mailing list for Outlaw Nights. This is a relaunch, and we very much look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
So next,
So yeah,
God fear me,
don't fear me. Yeah, sorry
like
guys.
Mike Murphy,
It's all good. It's all good.
the good
He
Mike.
he changed it to Outlaw Nights. You know.
Right.
It's a new crossover cover that's happening. You know,
We'll get there.
All right. So, yep, the gods fear me. By the way, it's Selena here too, or is it just you, Mike?
It's just me for now. Selena's watching over Clark.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, that's another couple, right, that works on projects together. So just like us, it's becoming a trend now.
I'm jealous.
But you guys did it first. You guys did it first. So we are the copycats.
Oh no, it's all good, man. Yeah, me and Selena have been at this for a while, and it's been a pretty productive year and a half now. So we're quite happy where we're at with Comicsgate.
Cheers.
Is it like kind of our situation where one of them writes and the other one draws, or you guys kind of have the workload a little bit more evenly spread?
No, it pretty much breaks down to that. I handle just about all the writing. Sometimes like Selena will go over like synopsis stuff with me, like, you know, we'll talk through plot issues if I'm having a problem. But for the most part, like, I handle all the writing. She handles like production stuff. Like we split the lettering. She'll help out with like flats. Like she's going to be helping with flats on some of the coloring for God's Fear Me that I'm doing. So yeah, it's pretty much like she handles all the artistic stuff. I stick to like the business and the writing.
Yeah. We're lucky, man. I'll tell you.
Oh, 100%, man.
People
yeah.
who feel your passion, right? Because these projects are passion projects, guys. So it's not just like anything. This is something that people work on really hard for a long time, right? Like you said, a year and a half into this project, you know, there comes a time where you get sick of looking at your own projects for so long. But it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been, you know, like we pretty much just jumped into the deep end once we committed to each other, and so it's been 10 years of working freelance, taking on odd jobs, just doing anything to build a name for ourselves. And yeah, the comic thing kind of like took a back seat for a few years, and when CG rolled around, you know, I just had this moment of like, what are we doing? Like, we're trying to break into a club that doesn't really want us, and meanwhile, all these guys over here are having all the fun in the world. Like, let's just go hang out. And it's, you know, it's been a great decision for us.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Did you ever pitch this book or this idea to any of the maybe big publishers out there? Or
yeah. So with the Gods Fear Me, we created this as a pitch about, I want to say 4 years ago, with another artist, and it was an earlier draft of the script. It didn't really get much traction for a while. There was a possibility of it running through Heavy Metal, but then Grant Morrison took over as editor-in-chief, and he kind of changed the direction for what that magazine is. So like and it ultimately worked out because like I didn't feel that the script was done cooking, and you know, the artist, while I appreciated his efforts, you know, he really wasn't what I needed for the project.
Okay. Yeah, I see here that this monster really resembles to me, kind of like, I mean, it wasn't his way of describing it. I mean, it was, but it was more like the pop culture vision of what of Cthulhu would look like, right? So did you have a lot of inspiration in the writings of H.P. Lovecraft?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this book is a direct mashup of like cyberpunk science fiction and Lovecraftian horror. So this is the Puppet King, and he can reanimate dead tissue, and the skull and all the armor that he's wearing is just that. It's armor. Like his true form is, you know, contained within. And we're not really going to see what he really looks like until towards the end of the series.
Oh, okay, wonderful, wonderful. And so this is a cyborg, right? The main protagonist, she's a robot.
Yeah. So this is Kedzie. You know, basically, in present day, there's the Madness Engine, which is our stand-in for Cthulhu, and when he awakens, like 70% of humanity is taken off the board, and the remnants of humanity are put into these giant cryostasis units called sleeper cities. And we fast forward to 200 years in the future, and the same company that created the Sleeper City program also created assembly lines of androids, you know, dotted across the planet, that can self-manufacture themselves. And the androids are all that stands between what's left of the planet and the human race, and this, you know, invading Lovecraftian force. But as you can guess, because it's 200 years down the road, the fight's not going so good. So this is kind of we're kind of at the end of the rope in terms of, you know, production of androids, and Kedzie may be one of the last ones around.
Pretty neat concept. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds interesting. So other than H.P. Lovecraft, what would you say another sources of inspiration were for you to come up with this story?
You know, certain manga, certain anime, you know, Ghost in the Shell, exploring all that stuff. You know, because it's been a hot button over the past day or two. I'd say the original film and the first season of Westworld, you know, exploring artificial intelligence, but without ham-fisting politics the way later seasons of Westworld have. Yeah, stuff like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is and that's what Comicsgate is all about, right? It's just making fun comics and good content that people are super hungry for nowadays when they try to inject all the politics in their things into our mainstream entertainment media, right?
For sure.
So I applaud you for putting out these ideas, man. They will inspire next generations of writers and comics lovers, you know, like myself. So yeah,
and both the projects he came out with are really original. The first one was Samurai and Dinosaur, which was really cool and original.
Thanks, man.
I love the art on that. I love it.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so if I can touch on Samurai real quick. We're down to about 120 orders that still have to go out. And then I'm hoping that that'll be done within the next week and a half. And once I'm positive that everyone has their orders and no one needs another copy sent out, probably the last week of March, first week of April, we're going to have a quick leftovers campaign for what's left of the first printing. Okay. Yeah, and then, you know, so that'll be that. God's Fear Me will be closed, and in May we're looking at launching our next big project, but I can talk about that later.
All right. And would that next project be related to the God's Fear Me, or?
Oh no. So the God's Fear Me, hopefully we can have the campaign for book 2 out by like mid to late fall. Okay. But with Kristen's schedule, we might have to push it back to like February of next year. I'm hoping that's not the case because I really wanted it out this year. But yeah, it might have to wait because Kristen's a really in-demand artist and he's got a lot of stuff lined up at the moment. No, the next campaign that we're going to be doing is called Deep Well, and I can't say who the artist is on it yet, but it's going to be a vigilante Western action adventure, but kind of leaning harder on like the rated R content. Like the elevator pitch is what happened the day the Lone Ranger rode into Deadwood.
Oh, wow. That sounds cool, man. And
yes,
yeah, speaking of which, is this book R-rated as well? Because I get to see some movies here.
yeah. There's gonna be boobies. There's gonna be a lot of violence in it. Originally, I was working to make it about PG-13, like maybe a hard PG-13. And during the production of these first 3 pages, that scene where she's standing naked, I described it as try to frame the illustration so that we're not seeing anything explicit, but we get that she's naked off the assembly line. Right. And Kristen was just like, hell with that, and like that's what I got back. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're going rated R.
I mean, and that's the beauty of doing independently, right? I mean, you get to play. It's like I always tell her, I hope we never. I mean, I hope we do, but at the same time, I hope we never actually get monetized on YouTube, because I don't see censoring myself. I don't see myself being censored. Or thinking about what I say. I curse all the time. I'm like that, and I like to talk about stuff without being policed. So. And that's the beauty of it, being independent. Like you said, you reached out to someone, and instead you decided to go the route of crowdfunding, and it's working out wonderfully for you. I mean, look, you got 13,317. Yep. And when are you closing the campaign?
Midnight tonight.
Okay, so guys, if you wanna get a copy of this, you still got some time. So is it midnight East?
Midnight Pacific. So people have got if they're on the East Coast, they got about an extra 3 hours past that.
All right. So you guys hear that? You guys got some time. So if you live in the East Coast, you actually can get it until tomorrow. So.
And what's the best tier that they should get?
Yeah. So the most pragmatic tier that you can get would be the swag bag. It's our featured perk. So the swag bag is going to come with the book. It's going to come with the prequel novella, and you're also going to get a trading card, 2 postcards, a poster of the cover, and a sticker. And the sticker is going to be the logo for the company that created the assembly line and the sleeper cities. They're kind of our stand-in for like Wayland Yutani for any Aliens fans out there.
Alrighty. And then I see that you got some digital copies as well.
Yeah. So moving forward, like with Deepwell and all of our future campaigns, we're probably going to merge both of these digital perks into one. But yeah, like for now, you can buy the digital prequel and the digital copy itself separately.
Okay. And it's only $8, right? How many pages is it?
The prequel is probably going to break down to about 24 pages. Since it's going to be prose with spot illustrations. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what it's going to break down to, depending on like font size and stuff. But it should be about 24 pages.
Absolutely. And then the digital copy is only $10.
Right.
Very good. And then the single physical copy.
Yeah, so both the original cover and Preston Acevedo's alternate cover both come in at $15.
Very, very good price. And then this is Preston Acevedo, right?
Yeah, the one and only, the good Preston.
$15, guys, $15. Very good price. And then you have a novella as well.
Yeah, so the one after that is if you want the complete story but don't want to go in on the swag bag, you can just get the book and the prequel book bundled together.
That's a very good idea. And then we have some art from Peter Gilmore.
Yeah, we still got a handful of sketch cards left over. There's one left from Peter. We've got 3 from Vic King. And 2 left from Passion for Drawing.
Oh, wow.
Mine are all gone?
No, you have 2 out of 3 left.
Oh.
Passion for Drawing, and then we have the one and only.
Which one's gone?
They requested the one with the broken helmet.
Oh, so the one with the colors too.
No, with her face exposed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris wanted the one with the color, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to holler at Chris then.
And then you have this one for $50 for international backers.
Yeah, so it's pretty much what your boy Zach offers on his campaigns. For our international readers, if you've got a buddy that wants the book as well, but both of you are having a hard time with the shipping, I'll bundle them together and take $10 off the total price of shipping to save all parties involved a little bit.
Damn.
That is a very, very, very good price, because like you all guys know, international shipping can get really expensive. You know, we've had some backers from New Zealand, and let me tell you, because we have like a standard price for everybody who backs internationally.
Mhm.
It's kind of like you kind of take out from one to kind of cover for the other one, if you know what I mean, right? Because some people might be in Canada, which is not as expensive, but some people might be in New Zealand, which is a lot more expensive, right?
Oh yeah.
It can get very expensive. So yeah, definitely a good deal, guys. It's $50. And then what is this about? Support the troops.
Sure. So this was a carryover from Samurai and Dinosaurs. Basically, 2 copies of the book go to you, and 3 copies will get shipped out to the U.S. military via Operation Paperback.
That's really cool, man. Let me tell you something. When I was in the army too, in 2012.
Okay.
And
Thanks for your service.
No, thank you. And I had an accident, right? And I was in a wheelchair for about 5 months.
Mm.
And I think that's really what really got me into comics, because at the time I couldn't really do anything, right? So I had a profile, and a profile basically means you have medical issues that basically prohibit you from doing anything, right? And if you do any of those things, then you get in trouble. Either way, I couldn't do anything because I was in the wheelchair. And my battle buddies kept bringing me a bunch of comics, right? And that's when I really got into it. So I mean, I always loved writing since I was a kid. But I would say comics in particular, and scripts, that's when I started kind of looking into it and really becoming passionate about it. Because I always say comics saved my life. That was a very hard time for me. I was very depressed, and it was just looking forward to what they would bring me next, what really kept me going until, you know, through the therapy and all that, until I was able to walk again and all that. So thank you for doing that. Really, really thank you for doing that, because you may not know it, but when the military can be just like prison, like a lot of times, you know what I mean? And,
Sure.
And there's times where it's very boring and it's very depressing, and you know, and it feels very lonely, because even though you're, you know, with what eventually becomes your family, you are away from your actual family and things, right? And not always talk to them as you would like to. And then giving this to them make a really big difference in their day. So I applaud you for doing that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
And then we have for shop owners and collectors. What is this one about?
Yeah, so this is just, you know, 10 bundles of the copy of the book bundled together, and it doesn't quite work out to the diamond discount, but it's comparable. So if you're a big time collector, which the one person who's taken us up on this is, or if you're a shop owner and interested in having a couple of these on your shelf, like, this is a good way to, you know, invest in 10 copies without having to pay the full price of 10 copies.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, congrats, man. So you're gonna be in shelves, and that's another stepping stone, right?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm sure everybody does. You know, everybody who has a book out there, you know, obviously we love our backers and we want to get our product out there, but I don't think there's a feeling that can compare to seeing your book in a comic book store, if you will, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's something very, very, very cool. And are all the books going to be signed, or is there a specific perk for that?
No, all the books will be signed by me. I wish, like, both Kristen and I could sign them, but he's based in Argentina, so realistically, there's no way to make that happen.
Oh, you're talking about that, Christian. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, then good catch with him. He's really talented artist for sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. I always say, like, ever since I read Trespasser from Alterna, I wanted to work with him, and it's crazy that on my second project, you know, I'm working with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have your running tier for only $2,200 bucks, I should say. Really good price, really fair price. And would you be in a scene? Would you get killed in the comic? What would happen to you?
Yeah, so there's two options. The first option is you can be, on Kedzie and Brian's journey. They're gonna travel through a couple of these sleeper cities. You could be one of the people that they pass by in stasis, or there may be an opportunity towards the end of the book for you to be actually awake and out in the world, without going too heavily into spoilers. And if that happens, you're definitely going to end up dead by the end of the book.
All right. And let me ask you, so the humans are kind of like being cryonically kept, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Are there any humans left? Is there like kind of like a cult of Cthulhu going on, just like in Lovecraft's book, or all humanity is kind of asleep?
Those are all great questions, man.
Here's the thing. I love spoilers. I love spoilers. I don't mind them. People hate me for it. People hate me for it. Here's the thing though. When people spoil something for me, a movie or book, I like to see, what it looks like in my mind and then compare it to what it actually looks like. So I apologize because I always do that.
No. Like, okay, so here's what's up. There are, okay, so of the 30% of humanity that's left over, there's an even smaller percentage of that, like call it between 2 and 5% of the population that was immune to the madness and insanity effects of the arrival of the old ones. Okay. So of that 2 to 5%, those humans who didn't end up in the sleeper cities and just stayed awake, over the following 200 years, they eventually drifted together and started breeding, and there's a very, very, very small strain of humanity that's still walking the earth.
That's very cool, man. That's very, very cool. I'm loving the concept. Then you have your postcard original art. Is this by Rosie too?
No. Okay. So, and just to clear this up, like a couple backers have asked me, our $8,000 stretch goal was 2 postcards and a trading card from Carl O'Rowe and Ethan Van Sciver. Oh. Those are separate from the trading card and the postcards that are going to be included with the swag bag. Oh. Okay. So the swag bag, postcards, and trading card is going to be drawn by me. And if you backed at the swag bag level, you're going to be getting those plus, in addition, the card and the postcards from Ethan and Carl.
That is very cool. Very, very cool. So if you want to see some original art from the Caesar himself, you can get it here. Then this is the other one, I assume?
Yeah. So that's the postcard number 2. And yeah, so both of these are done by me, and the original art also comes with a copy of the book.
You can draw too, man. You're really good at drawing. Have you ever considered doing your own art in your book?
Yeah, well, I mean, my day job is I'm a freelance writer illustrator, but the thing is, I'm really, really slow. So I don't know, it would take me forever to get a book done, and it's easier and more economically productive for me to just work as a writer in comics.
Right. Well, I mean, but you guys have a good team, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then page 1 of original art, and this looks very cool.
Yeah. So Kristen agreed to have the first 3 pages put up for sale. Page 3 has sold, but we still have 1 and 2 up for grabs.
Oh, he works he doesn't use a tablet. He works by hand, or?
Yeah, he works all physical.
Tablets are also by hand, baby.
Well, I mean, I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
People understand what I mean.
I don't draw with my feet, baby.
Yeah.
You mean traditional?
Traditional, yeah. That's what.
There you go.
And then this one sold out. It was $35, and they were Joe Ball sketch cards.
Yeah, Joe Ball's cards and Mandy's cards went really quick.
All right, very good. And then I'm very curious about the novella. What is it? Is it like it's just it's prose, or is it with illustrations?
It's prose with spot illustrations throughout. It's it's gonna it's gonna be built to look and feel like, like a dime store novel from the 30s, to like give you that, Lovecraft feel. And as for the content itself, it covers the main protagonist is the head of the company responsible for all this stuff.
Right.
And it covers everything from the moment the madness engine awakens all the way up pretty much to page 1 of the main comic.
Okay, very cool. And I love the details, like kind of listening to Tinfoil Hat Nick. I've gotten so much into actually paying attention to what's going on, other than streaming through, and I can see a barcode right here reflected in her eyeballs. So that's a pretty cool thing that not everyone might have caught. So good job with that.
I never saw that.
I tell you, that's what you get when you hang out with Nick too much. Because he gets deep into the stories, and he actually picks everything apart, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Nick cracks me up, because with both Samurai and God's Fear Me, like doing streams with him, he asked numerous questions where I was like, dude, if I tell you that, I'm basically spoiling X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. And that's what happens. No, look, you have a fantastic campaign, a really great looking art, and really neat concept.
Thanks so much.
Shame that you're closing it, but I understand you have to move on to different projects, and I wish you the best of luck. And guys, if you're watching this and you haven't yet gotten your copy, I urge you to do it, because you only have a couple hours left.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to keep it open longer, but we kind of have to lock down our print number, and at the same time, I want to try to at least have the digital copy ready around or before we launch Deepwell, just to keep good faith, just to keep in good faith. Even though I know at this point there's a lot of trust that people are giving us, but I kind of want to honor that trust and not abuse it too much.
Yeah, and look, guys, 3 campaigns already. People know that you fulfill. People know that you're serious about your projects. So
For sure.
Trust is pretty earned. So what do you say we watch the trailer?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Very well put together. Who did this trailer? Did you make it?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Very good. Very well put together, man.
Thanks,
the
man.
really fits it, and I love the action. And yes, I do get a lot of vibes from like Ghost in the Shell type of thing. The anime marionette, if you will, kind of thing. So I can definitely see that. It was
awesome.
Yeah, I definitely see that. So yeah, guys, back it if you can. If you haven't done so already, remember the clock's ticking. You want to get this good stuff.
Yep. You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it. Very cool. And don't forget to subscribe to Outlaw Nights, Genesis Renegade as well.
But I have to share the other.
Oh, we're not sharing the screen. I'm showing.
Yeah. Let me share here.
There it is. Alrighty. So yeah, don't forget.
There you go.
Actually check the page yet. Oh, this is very well. This is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the artist behind it, or are you the writer?
I'm just the writer.
What is this story about?
Well, essentially, it takes place in the 31st century. This is during a time when humanity is in a huge race to colonize outer space, grab up all the resources they can. And in the midst of all this, our main character, Cyrus Lawson, is working a simple security job on a small, out-of-the-way, trying to get out what bit of a simple life he can. But of course, by page 2, our pirate friends of the ship Hazard are invading the settlement, trying to get a very valuable piece of data that will lead them to something that is going to shake the foundations of the 31st century. And so Cyrus has to learn to survive amongst these pirates while at the same time overcoming his very rigid views of right and wrong.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of like a Escape from LA type of vibe from this character, maybe.
Oh, that's my man Ivory. He's the captain of the pirates, and he sort of acts as a good foil for Cyrus. It's very much I wanted to slightly mimic the relationship of Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver in Treasure Island, but I'm putting a little bit of a different twist on it.
Wonderful, man. Nice, really good looking art and really neat concept as well. Man, all these comics, they just keep getting better, don't they? In comics, I tell you. Yeah. And who's the artist and the colors behind it?
Oh, our artist is Render Contender, who you may know from Graveyard Shift Volume 2 and Chrono Mechanics. He's a really big up-and-coming artist, and it's been a privilege to work with him. And our colorist is known, he goes by Press Colors, and he's based out of India. And I have never seen coloring of this. Like, he adds so much depth to the shots with his colors. I've never seen anything like it. It blows my mind.
He sure does, man. And you chose some really, really nice scenes here to showcase you guys' work and your team's work. So definitely look forward to it. I'll be subscribing to it, and I'll be looking forward to when it comes out. Can I ask what the goal might be, maybe?
Right now, our goal is 7K.
Okay. Yeah. Very doable, very doable. You know, and like you said, you know, you're building up your presence out there, so it's much more likely that you will reach the goal, of course. So best of luck with that for sure.
Thank you so much, man, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate the heck out of it.
No, we will have all of you guys, because like I said, you know, when we first launched the Green Reaper, we knew one person in comics, kid, and that person was Shay Zombie.
Yep.
She was the first one to reach out to us, and she was like, okay, you know, you guys, you know, getting this group here, getting this in this chat here and whatnot, and then I remember Nick and Sim and Red Gaze and also Jack Stroll, all these people, and Adam started coming out and inviting us to their channel. So, you know, if we can help people who are coming for the first time or who are launching something for the first time, I mean, of course we will, you know.
Amen.
Nice.
Kind of giving back, and if we ever, and I hope we do, if we ever get big, I don't plan on, you know, not having someone because they're new. You know what I mean? Because that happens a lot. That happens a lot to us. You know, you don't know how many times I've just not being answered or just outright ignored. But it is what it is. You know.
I mean, I blast out my messages like crazy. So I mean, I'm fairly used to being ignored.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
And we're growing in this together, man. And I wish you best of luck. You have a really cool looking project. And I look forward to it when it launches, all right?
Thank you so much.
And also, the Gods Fear Me. And let's talk about the Grim Reaper.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's do a little bit of shameless self-promotion here for a little bit.
Yeah, we have 8 days left. Well, I think 7 now.
7 now. All right.
Give me a second.
Let's try to... Oh, I think it's because I was looking for Samurai.
Oh, baby.
Oh, my bad. I wanted to... They're our guest.
I won't get mad at you for that.
No, I remembered listening to the pitch for Grim Reaper about a year ago, and I loved the concept. I thought that was just a great idea. Y'all are combining kind of Japanese influences with more Western influence.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, yeah, it's aesthetically speaking, for sure. Well, that was the main thing, because she does manga mostly, That's like her biggest strength. I will say that more of the idea behind the story has a lot of Greek mythology in it. So it's a little bit of that, like you said, mixture of different things and ideas throughout history of what death is as a character, because it's a thing that this character has actually existed for millennium, even, and no one has really made it justice. I mean, we were actually in a live stream with Mr. E and with Drewish, wonderful Drewish from Captain Love, and we were actually looking up the Grim Reaper in movies, and it's only been in a handful, and it's always either basically just a joke or a really sinister character, and no one has ever used him as a hero, and I always wonder why not. It's such a cool character you can play so much with, and this one in particular has some influences from Hellboy and from the Sandman by Vertigo. And so, yeah, I think that's why this is such a different take on this character that, like I said, has existed for many, many centuries.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, we are almost $2,500 in it. So we reached our goal. It was a very modest goal, it was only 500, but we definitely kicked our own asses with the first one. So I'm happy for that. Even if it's $100 over or one backer over, I'm happy because that means we're growing.
Absolutely.
More people, and that means that, of course,
7 days.
7 days left.
7 days. You get the code.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of Curse videos, let's watch our trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That she put together, by the way, so she gets all the credit.
Awesome.
Amen. Damn.
That is the Grim Reaper 2, guys. You can still get the Grim Reaper 1 if you haven't backed it yet. It's still available as a perk here. And also, there is another book that we are launching together in this whole campaign. It's called The Curse of the Medallion. And we've been pretty good usually at kind of deceiving people, subverting expectations, if you will, with the covers. Those that you see are not it. Those are kind of like something we put there.
These were the covers.
They were the covers, before the fire. But you're gonna get different covers, and they look really nice. But we can't spoil anything yet. So yeah, we kind of kept it a surprise, a secret for the first one, for the first campaign. Nobody knew what the cover was gonna look like until they got it, and everyone was very, very, very well surprised by it, and I think it was very well received as well.
Nice.
For simplicity and all of that. All right, now let's jump into what Sim is doing. What are you doing, Sim?
Right now, I'm drawing. I'm working on that. I'm finishing the last pages, and I'm enjoying watching you guys promote the campaigns. And I'm a bit muted because there's a lot of noise next to me. You know,
All right.
everybody's at home, right?
We're just watching Blood Hunt here. We're looking at the campaign.
Yeah, the most badass vampire in comics.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued. What do you think of the campaign, baby?
Well, the art speaks for itself. It's definitely very, very well drawn. And
Thank you.
I love it. I'm a big Blade fan, so I can definitely see myself enjoying this a lot. You know,
Yeah, he's cleaning up after his mess. He's a good assassin.
yeah. So tell us about the story. What's the story about?
The story is you follow Vincent, and Vincent is like high end assassin, a bit like John Wick, you could say.
Mhm.
And he's working for a family called the Venditti, and he's also secretly dating his boss's daughter.
Mm, that's
So one night, he gets asked as a favor to go on a stupid mission, in his own opinion, but it's to kill no man in his sleep, which he finds very fucking insulting. You know, you're talking about a guy that's known as Death, the Reaper, throughout the world, and you're asking him to go kill a man in his sleep with a pillow.
Mhm.
So he gets there, and whoops, well, it's an ancient vampire. And when I mean ancient, I mean like predating mankind.
Hmm.
So crosses and the holy water doesn't work on them.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So when that happens, right, he becomes a vampire. I'm not going to tell you how that happens, but he gets turned.
Is it because he gets bitten in the neck?
Nope, he doesn't get bit in the neck. He actually puts up a fight. Come on. You're talking about an assassin. You think he's just gonna let a fucking vampire bite his neck? You're talking about no sparkles here and no like charming type of things. No, we're talking about beasts here, right? And when he gets turned, it also opens his eyes to the real world because he realized that there was a magical veil around that
Mhm.
humans cannot notice that there's actually supernatural creatures living around us. You just don't see them. You see them as normal people.
It's kind of like a day live type of thing, because that's what it sounded to me from the beginning, especially because I see some in like the art reflects a lot of that. Was that a main source of inspiration for you?
Of course, it's one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
But the main idea behind it comes from my first comic I ever did called the Wolf Dragon, right?
Mhm.
And the Wolf Dragon is pretty much the same setting, right? There's a magical veil, and humans don't see them,
Mhm.
but there's supernatural creatures in that world and all type of like mystical and stuff like that, right? So it's the same type of inspiration, and that inspiration came from gargoyles.
Oh yeah.
Remember that show when they just mix every type of mythology,
Yep.
legends and stuff? But that's what I'm using. That's my world of Wolf Dragon, and that's the same thing I gave to Vincent. So he's in that type of universe. Yeah,
Wow.
they could,
I mean,
maybe they'll have a crossover one day.
what do these skulls represent? Because they all look different.
I asked him the same thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I'm telling you is like, to explain it quickly, it's like
Mhm.
you remember Dexter, the guy that has that darkness inside him, right, and decides to
Mhm.
do something good with it.
Mhm.
Well, he decides to become an assassin and kill, criminals and stuff like that and get paid for it, right?
Mhm.
Not exactly like Dexter, but he decides that he wants to become Death. He wants
Yeah.
to be known as Death. So, he wants people to call him the Reaper. And this is the skull there's to represent like normal skull, screaming skull, the monster inside.
Mhm.
Nice.
Then I don't see why there could not be a Green Reaper and a Reaper crossover maybe in the future.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That
The
is totally
same thing
possible.
there, a seed in your head maybe.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I'd like to add is that he's the type of vampire that when he feeds off supernatural creatures and other vampires, he gets their memories and abilities, and
Right.
so he decides to not feed on humans and only feed on the thing, and it doesn't go with the supernatural rules, you could say. Like there's a console in there that they're not really happy. Which the old vampire was part of the main console of the vampires.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, while still keeping very loyal with vampire lore, right? Like that whole thing of absorbing their memories and things like that is,
Mhm.
they're all part of vampire lore. But you say that when he turns into a vampire, now he's suddenly the veil. The world is unveiled basically, so
Yep.
he gets to see other supernatural creatures. So would he be battling something other than vampires, maybe?
Yes, he will, but not in that one right now. Like when he goes to get vengeance on his boss,
Mhm.
they're not vampires, they're not supernatural creatures. But then after that, he gets to meet more. But throughout the story, you do meet some of them, and he does have to face them, like right there.
Right. Will there be werewolves?
But like we like to say, is like he's dead set on vengeance, and nothing's gonna stand in his way. So it's my main idea was trying to do something original with a vampire, right?
Mhm.
And the first thing that popped to my mind was the movie by Mel Gibson, Payback. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen a really good movie like that in a long time. Like you have a guy with an ethic and you owe something, and there was also John Wick, but it's not the same. That's like there's something about that movie Payback that there's all type of things that happen around him that has nothing to do with his mission. But I'm going there. I'll deal with you guys later. He's,
Right.
I
The
just I want
singular focus protagonist isn't so much of a thing anymore in comics or films these days.
like I want payback. It's a question of like principle. You got me killed. I want
Right.
you dead.
And with that also, I think what they end up doing is they do an overkill because they saturate you with all these characters that they want you to care about, and in the end you end up caring for none of them.
And to add to your answer, your question about other creatures, he faces werewolves too.
Yeah, all right, so that's cool. Yeah, definitely look forward to that one as well, guys.
Yeah. And it's two lucky backers that bought the tier of be a werewolf in the book, and it's Starcast and Chris Evans. So they appear they appear in the book. They change into werewolves, and they face Vincent, but guess who survives?
Chris Evans.
Hey, buy the book, you'll find out.
He already has that kind of. He already gives me that impression. All right, so yeah, guys, definitely back all these projects. They look wonderful. And also subscribe to Outlaw Nights. They will be launching soon.
Everybody, please subscribe to White Cat Comics. This is
Absolutely
your new favorite YouTube channel.
Your new favorite YouTube channel. So yeah, wonderful campaigns, guys. Congratulations to everyone.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
To the Gods Fear Me as well. It will be closing tonight. If you are in the West Coast, and it will be closing tomorrow, very early if you live in the East Coast. So you still got time to back it, guys. Still got time to
wait
go.
till the last minute.
You don't need paper, guys. You don't need much toilet paper. Just back books to spend that, right?
Don't forget to read them before you use them.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you read them, I don't care what you do.
Just back them, okay? Then you see what you do.
Come on, guys. This is a community of collectors. You don't want to be doing anything bad to these books, guys. They will be worth a lot of money in the future.
No, but we will understand if you have to, and we'll print more for you to buy more.
No, listen, there is always the you don't have to go out and fight anybody at Walmart for toilet paper, right?
Yeah, people don't panic.
I want people fighting over Outlaw Nights.
Yes, me too. So what do you guys think about this craziness, huh? Are you guys all quarantined as well?
Yep.
Technically, yeah, but I mean, I don't have too much of a social life these days anyway, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to be, but we still end up going out once in a while anyway.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you can find something open. I live out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and apparently Mayor Kay Gallego decided to pretty much, cancel the city completely yesterday, and everybody's very upset about it. I'm still having to work, and today I find out that apparently everybody's getting a $2,000 check.
Oh damn!
From our president, I suppose.
Oh, nice.
But are you guys looking forward to getting that check from Trump?
Absolutely.
All right.
It's going right to Outlaw Nights.
Yeah, that's going to be some diaper money for me.
And I'm Canadian. I don't have anything to say about it.
There you go.
Oh damn!
No, man. But you guys got who? You got Justin Trudeau, right?
Use that money to back my book.
It's not shit.
Share it with me indirectly.
Yeah. We will, if we do get that, we will be backing all these campaigns. So
and don't get me started on Trudeau, please. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I want to get you started.
Oh,
I love when you go on rants. Come on, what do you got to say about him?
Nothing. I just don't like him right now.
Have you ever liked?
Not really. I just don't want to go on the rant. So I said, don't get me started on Trudeau. He gets on my fucking nerves. And his wife has corona right now, and his kid has corona, but they're not. He doesn't have it, but Idris Elba does, and they had supper together.
Crazy time, but I don't know what's crazy. I just heard a Canadian.
Yeah, that's funny, right?
But yeah, guys, no, it's crazy times out there. Very entertaining for some. For me, at least, it is. We do this very healthy thing, and we always go buy a lot of stuff. So I think we are pretty good for the next few days. If anything, I'm pretty sure those preppers don't look so stupid anymore, do they?
No, that's what Tug was saying when I was talking with him about all this stuff. Like I was telling him, before we ended up getting toilet paper yesterday, I was telling him we were running pretty low, and he's like, I've got like 200 rolls. Do you need me to send you some? I'm like, no, I'm good, dude.
What is the deal, though? What started this whole craziness with the toilet paper? Was it the same toilet paper companies just pushing this out of the shadows or something? Because I don't see the real. I mean, I understand. Yeah, sure, you need toilet paper, but why so much?
I mean, my opinion is it's kind of that monkey see, monkey do thing of like, you see one person freaking out and buying more, and then you're like, well, I don't know why they're doing it, but they must know something I don't, and so that person then buys more. Yeah. Like I mean, logistically, it makes no sense. Like there's no need for more toilet paper than you would normally use, even if you got this really bad version of the flu. I don't know, man. People do weird things.
I think that people buy toilet paper because they know that there won't be as much. So just in case,
Hey, you guys, look, you can always get baby wipes too, right? So.
Funny enough, you can't, but I get the sentiment.
Yeah, but buy what you need. Don't go too greedy. I think there's others,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy world, but you cannot say he's a boring one.
I think it's Trump that said it. That said it well. Don't go nuts. Just buy what you need. There'll be more next week.
And
if you go nuts and buy everything, that's when everything goes wrong.
And what will happen when this whole thing comes to pass? Everybody will have so much leftover toilet paper they won't be buying it for another year.
Comic Book Bob is saying, funniest thing I saw was a dude with 2 carts full of TP and only 3 little bags of rice.
There you go.
Guys, priority.
You won't be putting that TP to use. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
What's good having TP if you don't have food to keep alive?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I mean, when all of this is over, I mean, we still have to deal with vampire assassins. So
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
What is the craziest thing that's happened to you guys since this whole thing started?
Nothing really nuts has happened to me. It's been pretty typical for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, we work from home, so this is kind of just business as normal for us. Like, it was tough, tracking down toilet paper, but once we did, it's like, well, okay, that's done with. We're good now. So, I mean, like
little outing, we go to a place and go, oh, that used to be there. It's not there anymore.
Right. Yeah. Like the oddest thing has just been watching other people's behavior, like
Yeah.
going to stores and seeing all the shelves like barren. Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sim, you live in a well-developed country, but for us here in America, toilet paper.
Yeah, I see that at like your type of Boxing Day. I think what is it called?
The what?
Yeah, your type of Boxing Day. Your big sale every year where everybody freaking fighting
Oh, Black Friday.
Black
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, it's like that, but for toilet paper.
Yeah. It kind of is. It kind of is.
And I don't know why, but here in America, it's usually like the really fat ladies always duking it out for some reason, and everybody,
Oh yeah.
these sumo wrestler type of people just go out
Right.
with toilet paper. I don't think there'll ever be a time like this in our life, so we better be recording everything and
I was telling people are going nuts for toilet paper. Get baby wipes.
yeah.
Back then, nobody was buying them. You can buy them by boxes on Amazon.
Yes, you can. And also you can also buy it. You can buy it used. You can buy used toilet paper out of tons of places now that are selling it for a very, very high price. So,
Used.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Recycled. Didn't say recycled, and it was just a Spanish in translation.
Well, no, there was again hanging out with Tug. Like we went over to eBay and looked at toilet paper on eBay, and we found a guy that was selling individual squares for like 75 cents each.
And there was like I saw one that was selling like 3 squares for like $3, right?
Yep.
Jesus God.
And they were selling.
Yeah, 223 sold.
yeah. I'm in the wrong business, guys. I'm gonna start doing that. So
That's why Selena started doing those drawings on paper. She's like, it's worth more than canvas right now.
It's true.
you can
Sure.
sign it too. Look, you'll be worth a lot in the future. You never know.
Now we know how we're gonna fund our books.
Exactly.
You'll go to a pub and there will be no napkins.
Black market toilet paper.
No, my goodness. Never thought we'll come to this, but all right, yeah, guys, everybody watching, thank you very much for being here. Shout out to everybody who was in the chat. Big shout out to Sim, who co-hosted today. He's always very kind and always very active.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate you. We wish you best of lucks out there in Canada, man. It's a dangerous place.
Yeah, in a certain way, yeah.
Back the Gods Fear Me by Mike Murphy, still available until midnight tonight. All right. And then subscribe to Outlaw Nights. And don't forget to show the Grim Reaper some love as well. All right.
And Bloodhunt.
And also,
Sounds awesome.
of course,
Yep.
Okay.
the single baddest vampire hunter. Or he's a hunter vampire, actually, you should say.
He's
So-
a monster for hire. There you go.
Yeah, because he's all right.
He kills for money, not because he wants to kill vampires.
Right, exactly. So yeah, it's a hunter vampire, I should say. All right, guys, thank you very much for coming today. All right, we'd love to do this again. Give us, text us, private messages whenever you want to come back on the show. We'd love to have you again. All right.
Amen.
All right. See you all. Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.